As I mentioned yesterday, words do matter. This was a conversation that came up, presidential candidate obviously taking sides on this issue as it pertains to the refugees, whether they should come in. There's a new hashtag from the White House, we accept refugees. This is a new level of discourse where free speech is at risk right here. Our national security is at risk. Lee Carter from Misalansky and Partners actually put the dial treatment right up against our candidates. What did you find out?
Overall, there's a few things I found out. We are all afraid as Americans. It doesn't matter what side of the aisle you're on. And so there's a couple things that candidates really have to understand about this. Number one, stop caring about what you call them. Stop making that an issue. Stop blaming the past, whether it's blaming Obama, blaming Bush. We want to know right now, what are you going to do about it?
So you're saying people aren't that interested in calling it radical Islam? Is that what you're saying? People
are interested in it, but that's not the centerpiece issue. What people want to know right now is, how are you going to protect me? How are you going to make me safe? Don't be mamby-pamby about what you call it.
Okay.
Call it what it is, and let's talk about strategies for how we're going to deal with it, how we're all going to be safe.
Let's turn on the dials. You did some dial testing. First up, we got Marco Rubio. Keep in mind, I believe the yellow are the independent voters, the blue is Democrats, and the red are Republicans, right?
Yep.
Let's run it and then talk about it.
We are at war with radical Islam, with an interpretation of Islam by a significant number of people around the world who they believe now justifies them in killing those who don't agree with their ideology. This is a clash of civilizations. And as I said at the debate earlier this week, there is no middle ground on this. Either they win or we win. And we need to begin to take this seriously. These are individuals motivated by their faith. Of course, all Muslims are not members of violent jihadist groups.
Wow. Speaking of divided, it's so interesting to see the massive divide between Republicans and Democrats on that.
It's unbelievable, and you're going to see that that's a continuing trend with all of the candidates that are speaking. But the thing that's so important to notice, number one, independents continue to behave like Republicans. They want people to call it what it is.
When it comes to security?
When it comes to security, when it comes to everything that I'm seeing, frankly. So Democrats should be really concerned about that. And what you saw here is Rubio's really hitting his stride. He is strong, he is decisive, he sounds smart, he's calling it what it is, and he's talking about what we're going to do about it. And so overall, Republicans gave him an A, independents gave him a B. But the thing that's important to note is Democrats only gave him a C. It's a flat line. And that should be a really good objective for Republicans. I mean, for those candidates. You're not trying to win them over, your opponents, but what you are trying to say is, look, I'm neither good nor bad, I'm neutral, and you'll take me.
And then you have Bernie Sanders, who here in the sound, the term doesn't really matter, apparently. Watch.
I don't think the term is what's important. What is important to understand is we have organizations, whether it is ISIS or Al-Qaeda, who do believe we should go back several thousand years. We should make women third-class citizens, that we should allow children to be sexually assaulted, that they are a danger to modern society.
Okay, so Democrats like the comments the best, but the Republicans and the independents were just underneath there, so clearly they like the fact that he was talking about it.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's the thing that was most surprising to me, is Bernie Sanders was the least polarizing of any candidate that we tested this week. And it wasn't because he didn't call them anything. He really focused on the behaviors, not the label.
Right.
And the behaviors are things that we can all agree on. This is not acceptable behavior. And so he went after it. He seemed strong. He might have avoided the question altogether, but he talked about the things that we all agree, and those behaviors are unacceptable.
And he got specific, and as he got more specific, his numbers with the independents went up.
The grades there across the board were pretty similar. I think you saw A with Democrats, B+ with Republicans, and independents right up there.
Real quickly, the takeaway for candidates running for president regarding this?
Be strong, be decisive, don't be mamby-pamby, talk about solutions, and focus on those behaviors that we all say and we all agree this is wrong and we're not going to take it anymore.
Okay. Lee, thank you so much. The dial treatment is in. Thanks.